Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Big Rig Banter. I hope everyone has had a productive week and not having to deal with all them crazy DOT skills that decided to turn off all their pre-pass. That was bullshit, but let's go ahead and roll the intro and we'll get you started. All right, so what is it? What's today? The 10th. Holy crap! We got some other competition stuff coming up here, and we're going to be doing some coverage on that as well. I don't know about the training process, but look who decided to show up. So nice of him to grace us with the presence. You know, you gotta do me a favor and like let me know in advance because I do have backup. But we have another guest with us who has been with us off and on for a while. This is Tim Beal. Do you prefer Tim or Timothy?
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Just don't call him late for dinner, right?
That's right. I like my dinner.
So, okay. So, you started in 07, off and on for like years.
August 5th of 07. I remember the date I started.
Man, must have been a pretty good day.
You remember what day you started?
Yeah. Wait, what day I started or what day I filled out the application? Because I know both dates.
It should be the same thing. Well,
no, because I gave it 2 weeks notice. I got to tell the ice cream people I'm not delivering your shit no more. June 9th. Remember when the application was like 3 miles thick? What about you? You started in 07. It was like a goddamn book, man. I don't know what
they wanted your life history.
They wanted to know everything.
Well, back then everything wasn't on computers like it is nowadays. Nowadays all they got to do is type it up and they can see whatever they want to see.
Man, it was nice when the whole medical cart thing when you didn't have to carry all that with you, and I can't tell you how many times they wrote the wrong freaking date on there. I'm like, this is last year's year, dude. You need to add two numbers to that bad boy.
Then your doctor was messed up. I never had that issue.
Well, he was looking at my medical records. Okay, well, so last time you were here back hands. Okay, I'm like, oh.
So yeah, one of those.
So I had to go back and like, oh, I can't issue a new card. You have to pay it over. I'm like, you can kiss my ass. You put the wrong date on here. So, but yeah. So go ahead, Albert. Take the floor.
So Tim.
There you go.
You've been here as a company driver and owner-operator and an LP.
You were owner-operator and LP?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, he had his own truck.
So were you the last LP driver we had? No.
Last owner-operator? No.
Lease.
The last lease driver that was hired was my wife.
Yeah. So.
Is she still?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the whole dispatch thing, what other differences in the cost of paying, paying all your, basically the cost of everything?
I do what I want to do.
Oh, besides that,
that's the best part about it.
I'm sure that's within reason.
No, I can turn down any load I want.
Now, okay, I think I asked someone else.
I don't turn down loads, but I can.
I don't remember who else I asked this, but it's my understanding the owner ops or the LPs, they can choose their loads if they don't want to load or whatever else. But if you take this load to, let's say, Dallas, and they already have another load ready for that to be picked up afterwards, like Kellogg or whatever, coming right back, it's my understanding if you take that Dallas load, you have to accept the connecting load afterwards.
I've never come in with that situation, so I don't know.
I guess I'm trying to think. Okay, I guess maybe Lawrence paper, then going back and pick up at Harrisonville or something, coming back. I don't know.
I've never come into that situation because most of the time I do every load they give me, right. Unless it's just the load don't pay enough for the miles. There's sometimes the loads don't pay. So
are you a LP or owner or company driver right now?
LP.
You had that, what was it, like a blue or something truck?
I had a black Peterbilt and...
This is the one that was always in the shop?
Yep.
Okay.
And that brown Freightliner outside.
That brown Freightliner.
Well, actually, it's in the shop right now.
And he had like a red, like a maroonish color, international.
Yeah,
That
that's what. Matter of fact, international, but that with the surgery I had last year caused me to have to go bankruptcy. That's the reason I lost my Peterbilt.
Oh.
So today begins the road to Rogers. Since y'all both are going to be trying to qualify, what are y'all expectations?
I've already told you how I feel about that.
I have no idea. I've never done it, so I don't know.
Well, tell the world again, Chris.
Which part?
What are your expectations?
I'm not trying out.
We are on the road to Rogers. What are your expectations for Rogers?
Well, I'm really interested to see who all is going to be showing up at our initial meeting. I know how I feel where I want my role to be, you know. Carl says one thing, you joke about something other, and so I really don't know where everyone's head's at. I don't want to have to try out to be on the team that I helped build up and develop, just like you in the previous 2 years. And so, yeah, my expectations are I want to be grandfathered in. And so, especially when we have these new drivers in, a lot of which probably never participated.
That wasn't my question.
Shit.
My question is, what's your expectations in Rogers?
We're getting it. Well, for me or for the team?
For yourself.
Oh, always improving upon what you did previously. And not drive a Lou Thompson.
Well, since they got bought out by were they bought out by Covenant last year by the time?
No.
So they might not even be there this year.
I haven't heard anything about Covenant buying anybody.
Lou Thompson,
What have you heard?
Lou Thompson.
I heard Lou Thompson got bought out, but I wasn't for sure by who.
Really?
But they're still running under Lou Thompson.
Yeah, but they
And
might.
there's no Covington sign on the trucks at all.
But they might not. I don't know if it's kept in separate entities. They might show up. So there might be that long-nosed Pete. But you said
it wasn't like one of those like 90s long-nosed Pete. It's like the newer long-nosed Petes that, you know, the mini Petes.
So basically,
not the Freightliner hoods.
Yeah, so,
I love long nose, so that wouldn't bother me.
Basically, Chris shit himself last year.
When Jesus Christ. Yeah, I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but I think I did better than I thought I would. Put it that way. Like, had I realized how they turn, I probably wouldn't. I was the first son of a bitch out on the course. This is messed up. So, I mean, part of me was like, oh, this is bullshit. The other part of me was like, well, cool, one and done. I don't have to like sit there and sweat. Oh my God, 3 more people, they're going to call me. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Everyone else has seen how awesome everyone else has been doing. I'm like, I don't want to be less awesome. You know?
You wanted your less awesome first.
And so, there you go. There you go. And so when I went first, I was like, I saw the truck. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. This son of a bitch gets to drive the same trucks he drives here at Bowerman. Tina gets to drive the same trucks she drives for Bowerman. Same with Jim Bob. And I get this piece of shit that I have never even been behind the wheel of. I'm sure it wasn't a piece of shit. It's probably a really nice truck. That's beside the point. But yeah, it was messed up being the very first person out there on the course. And one of the obstacles was a serpentine. And not a 3-post, but just a 2-post serpentine. And so I thought I was getting set up pretty good. I was getting ready to turn into the first turn, but it wouldn't turn anymore. and everything else, once you cross the line on the start, everything is a continuous motion problem. There's no stopping. If you stop, you don't get points for that problem, or you get docked for the entire thing. I don't remember.
You don't get points for that.
You get docked if you stop. And so they had this, I don't know, 8-inch pillar in the middle of the road for the serpentine, and now I couldn't get around it, and so I had to stop. And they just looked at me like, "You gotta keep going." I'm like, "You have to move that so much." "Oh no, you gotta drive on this side of it." So I cranked the steering wheel, so I go, you know, whining the power steering pump, trying to turn. He goes, "Oh," and he finally moves the fucking cone, because otherwise I was gonna run that bitch over. He just looked at me like, "You gotta go on this side." I'm like, I can't. And so after that, after I got done, every time I one of the trucks, doesn't matter what the Freightliner, I think they have International that year. I know they had a Mac. Anyways, everyone else that wasn't able to make that turn, before they got to that, they can see that they're not going to make it. They go and move it right away. So they don't have to stop. But I got docked for stopping. It doesn't bitch.
No, you didn't score it off for that obstacle.
I know.
You didn't get docked. You just didn't score.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, same thing.
No score
Same
versus
thing.
docking.
Same
Docking,
thing.
you
That's
lose
25 points I didn't fucking get.
But it's not 25 points that was taken off.
I don't care. It's 25 points that should have been on my scorecard because they don't
Well,
know.
you should have done it better then.
Well, I wouldn't have to worry about the long nose too much because when I started driving in a long nose Classic XL.
Right.
And they didn't have no turning radius.
Oh, no.
And one of my first trips went to Hunts Point Market, New York. If you've ever tried to back in at Hunts Point Market, New York in a long nose truck.
No.
So, Tim, this will be your first year. So basically, you're going to be a rookie
To the competition.
to the competition.
Yeah, I'm
Try and knock them down a few pegs, fucking rookie.
still wet behind the ears.
There are several classes, and we'll go over them later on.
Hey, what you do in the bunk on your own time is your own business.
Is there a specific class that you're going to be interested in? They got sleeper, 5-axle, 4-axle, tanker, doubles and triples, and 3-axle.
I have no idea because the only trucks that I've ever drove.
Well, do you have a tanker endorsement?
Yes.
Okay, well, he can do that.
Yes, I got tanker endorsements, and only thing I've ever drove is something like we're driving now.
Yeah, see, that was another thing, too. All the other trucks were automatic. Lou Thompson's was the only standard. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Well, I love standard. I'd rather.
Oh, yeah.
I wish Bowerman would get some standards. I know they won't.
There are
but
times when we go to take off, I'm like, oh, if this was a stick, I'd be already at the speed already. But no, it's got to take a sweet-ass time.
I would rather have a 13-speed sitting behind,
That would never happen.
I know it won't,
Because people don't know how to. There's only 3 drivers that Jimmy let drive that Super 10. Because everyone else would like jack it up.
They're one of the easiest.
No, instead of going from low to high, you have to split every single gear. It might be easy for someone that knows how to operate, but these idiots out here.
Yeah, well, a Super 10 is really, it's not like a straight 10. Because a Super 10, you actually, when you go to shift, you're actually supposed to take it out of gear, flip the switch, and then put it back in gear.
Yeah, that's all STI had up there with Super 10s whenever I worked there.
Now, the way we always done it is we just flip the switch, let the fuel out, and go. But that's not actually the way it's supposed to have been shifted.
Well, if it works. I mean, because that's how we drove our 13 when I.
Sponsored by Sonic.
They're not sponsored by Sonic. Don't sue us, Sonic. His name is Albert Morris. He can be found at Bowerman Trucking,
But one of my first,
Searcy, Arkansas.
but the first automatic I ever drove was actually a standard to start with. It was a 10-speed, long nose, Freightliner. The top 3 gears was automatic. Once you got up in the 10th gear, going, the top 3 gears would shift herself going up and down mountains. If you had to go below 8th, you had to shift it. But other than that, they would shift themselves.
For the final gears, then?
Yeah.
Oh. The first automatic I went in, piece of shit.
Oh, I hated the first automatics because, man, there was always problems.
No, the first ones, they don't have that creep mode. You can't feather in anywhere. So it wouldn't engage till you get to like 700 or 800 RPM. So they're really easy to spot. When you see someone backing in, you see them doing this.
Yep.
The whole time because they're trying to feather in and keeps on going back to neutral, back into gear, in neutral, back into gear, and they're just rocking all over the damn place.
Yep.
See a lot of people doing that in manual transmissions too.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
In a manual, you didn't even have to touch the fuel to back in. Just throw it in the reverse and move your steering wheel because it back itself.
Heck, I just seen a video recently. That's something that I haven't seen in a long time. Do you put it in gear, throttle down, set it on the sideboards? Just. I met a guy that could do that with doubles. It's the craziest thing to see because he's all over the place because you have to get each point of articulation, go in the direction you want. So he's back and forth a couple of times, and you think he's being a dipshit. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? And then you see that entire train just fall in line right where you wanted to put it, backing up. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've only seen it one time. I'm sure I could probably find some YouTube videos, but it's not the same. It's pretty cool though. So, so the only thing you need, if you end up going, the only thing you need to be excited about, and the only thing you should be excited about,
Go Steakhouse.
the steak. Well, heck, Jeff and Tina, when they went on their little honeymoon, they stayed at the Embassy Suites up there in Rogers, and they went to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I'm kind of curious what that experience was like.
Call them and ask them.
Because that's one of the places we were talking about going, and then John was like, no, we'll take you to this place, Doe's.
Well, they were paying for it, so let them pay for it.
Well, yeah, it was worth it. Looking back, I would have got a bigger steak. Looking back, he would have got a smaller steak.
Yeah, I would have got a much smaller steak. I had the meat sweats for 2 weeks after that, man. Didn't eat steak for months after.
The next few weeks. But hey, you want to go get some steak? No. Me and steak don't get along right now.
Matter of fact, I just had steak yesterday. I bought my mom a steak and bring it home to her.
So has he talked to you about what all we do in Rogers?
I haven't talked to anybody because I'm never here.
Meeting today.
Oh, well, here's a preview. Okay, so obviously there's going to be a skills test. That's the main part of the competition. Then there's a pre-trip portion that happens before that, the day before, and a test, a written test, 50 questions. So everything, all the information that they test on, all the questions are pulled from a book, Facts for Drivers. And so there'll be a new version coming out probably another month.
It should be out already, but it's not.
Right.
I've been looking for it, but I didn't see, being in the office, that there hasn't been much changes from 23 to 24 as far as that book is concerned, in my opinion.
Right. And what are the chances they pull the one change out and put it on the test?
A lot. I guarantee that much.
So it's only one question. Fuck it. Who cares? We can afford to miss one, right?
No.
Yeah. Someone got like a 95% last year, didn't they?
On the written?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone
It wasn't one of us.
No, this dude, I can't remember if he was a repeat contestant or if he was new. He got like a 95%, which is crazy.
Yeah, no one's ever got 100 on this written test, 100 on their pre-trip test, and no one's ever aced the driving part of it.
Sounds like pretty hard anyway. So
it's the written test is the most complicated thing, and if you don't become too complacent, there's that word again, in your pre-trips, you'll be able. You should have no problem with the pre-trips up there. 90%. I mean, that's the average, not the average, but that's what they most.
Yeah, but I think some of the things they put on their pre-trippers are kind of sneaky and messed up. One of the things in the Lou Thompson truck was loose stuff on the floorboard. There wasn't anything loose on the floorboard. I think there was in the other truck that they were using for the 5-axle pre-trip, but the one that I climbed in, there was an empty box about yay big, about the size of a small Amazon box, and it was taped and it said parts. And since there's no side box in a day cab, the triangles and everything are bolted down on the floor between the seats.
Yep.
That box was wedged behind the fire extinguisher and triangles, so it wasn't loose. It was pinned against the back wall. So
it wasn't it wasn't secured to the floor. It was loose.
Yeah, well, where are you going to put your permit book? It's going to be loose too. Same thing. The point is, it was a brand new truck, it hadn't been ran yet. The plastic and everything was still on, like the electronics and everything else, the little film, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's had all that stuff on there, and it was just, it wasn't loose still. But if it was, because I called it last year, there was stuff in the back floor. I'm like, hey, what's this? There's stuff on the floor. What's wrong with it? Well, it's loose trash on the floor, and it looks like it's DOT numbers. It should have been on the door because it wasn't labeled. The Freightliner wasn't labeled.
Yeah.
And so it was just the door tags, the temporary door tags. I'm like, that should be displayed on the door. And it wasn't even one of the violations. And it was loose shit. And I was like, what the hell? This is BS. And so, but yeah, so you got to just like really think outside the box. Think like you're better off calling stuff that, you know.
To an extent, because you call too much bullshit, they're going to deduct you.
Yeah, but if you're calling off stuff that could technically be legitimate, like if it's a brand new truck, hey, there's an empty box in here on the floor that doesn't belong. You know, it's not loose or right around, but it's not triangles. It's not, you know, fracturing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And there was no permit book in the truck, no registration anywhere in the truck. That wasn't even a violation. Ain't that some bullshit? I got screwed. They saw the roster. Oh, Chris Davis is gonna be up here.
Oh no,
fuck with him.
No, I think
that's exactly what happened. But yeah, it was really neat. The first time we went up there, it's a competition. You're technically competing against all the other drivers and companies, but in reality, you're really just competing against yourself. I think. Would you agree?
Yourself and the ATA, because the ATA is making the test up.
But where you'd expect to be like major competition, like, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass in the court, but everyone was so excited to see all the newer drivers that have never been. People that have come back and done the competition for years were excited to meet all the new drivers. It was really neat. So it was like, you know, no one's against one another. Even if like that someone gets the best score, it's, oh man, it's all right. You didn't do that bad. You'll do better next year. Don't worry about it. So no one was like, ha ha, I beat you. There was nothing like that. Unfortunately, dinner will probably suck because Tyson is a big sponsor of the event and their chicken is dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So last year we thought we were going to get treated because, you know, John was with the tech competition and they have their dinner separately. I was like, hey, so what y'all have for dinner? Because normally it would be the same because it was the same last year. Why spend more money on two different types of meal when you can make them all the same? Oh, man, we got steak this year, a little sirloin, this and that. I'm like, really? Bullshit. Send me pictures. He sent me a picture. And then we went to dinner, and it was fucking chicken. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, if it's chicken, I won't eat.
It's grilled chicken.
I mean, it didn't taste bad, but, like, you know.
Well, here's the problem. I don't like chicken.
Oh, well.
They may have some cheesecake up there for you. I mean,
I'm a diabetic. Cheesecake won't work either.
Okay, that's your answer. Eating the salad.
Just dial it
And
up.
I ain't no rabbit, so I just won't eat.
Just dial it up and give yourself an extra shot. You'd be good to go. Heck, the table we were at the first year, there was a guy in a wheelchair, and he was like, there was a whole table that wasn't even populated. He's like, think anybody would say anything? I went over there and took that cheesecake. I'm like, you're on wheels, dude. I don't think anyone's going to say anything to you, man. You can get away with murder. Almost. And so we talked a little bit before we started recording, and the type of driver you used to be versus the way you are now, without knowing you personally, I've seen, you know, there's some amount or obvious change, and you agreed with that.
I in my opinion, I've done a complete 180 because I used to be a total, well, I was anyways.
Matt, it's okay. You can say ass hat.
Matt fired me on an email. That's how bad I was. So
no, that sounds like Matt. Jacob would come do it face to face.
Oh no!
If Matt can find some technology to do the dirty deed, he's gonna do it.
It was at the middle yard in Searcy, and me and Noah got into it and everything, and Matt come out, and instead of me sitting there getting into it with Matt, I just got my pickup and I left.
Is that door really?
Next thing I know, I opened up my email. Matt told me to come clean my truck out. You know, so
how many times? Okay, so how many times have you quit versus how many times you've been let go? Have you been let go more than once?
No.
All right, but you've come and gone. What? 5?
This is my third time.
Sure.
I started in 07.
All right.
I left in 16. I come back in 18. Matt fired me, and then I come back.
So you've been off and on 4 times.
No,
Yeah.
This is my third time here.
You just said
I started in 16.
right, and you
Or I started in 7. I left in 16.
right.
Then I come back. Matt fired me.
Oh.
And now I'm back.
I feel like there was another time that you were gone.
No.
Because, whatever.
Memory's bad, man. You're getting old.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get old.
Well,
It's
I ain't there yet.
because dispatch just drains it out of you, man.
I ain't say that, man.
Oh, I'm saying that. So future meetings, I got some topics. We'll talk about that later. But if and when it ever happens, they've talked about doing stuff like that. But so, how are you running now? I mean, is there anything different from the previous times you were here that we already know about?
The only thing difference is we don't run the East Coast no more.
Or California?
Yeah.
Or, well,
anything west of basically New Mexico, we don't run.
right. We go to Phoenix every once in a while.
Once in a while.
Every once in a while, we go to Phoenix.
And every once in a while, we do that paper load to Southern California, and it usually has another load coming right back.
Yeah, I haven't done none of those.
I think I've done it twice.
So
Since
I don't know.
salary?
Yeah. Yeah. When did we start salary?
2.5 years ago.
Really?
well, see, that would be that. If I ever went company, I don't know if I could do the salary part because of the way I drive.
Right.
Because I'm not home every week like y'all are.
Right.
I don't want to be home every week.
Yeah. Sometimes I figured I just honeydew can do it your damn self.
Well, I've never
I
been that
actually
way.
like being home every day now. It's actually grown on me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. Was
I really couldn't stand it at first, but it's actually grown on me to be able to sleep in my own bed, even though the truck was my bed too.
Is it you couldn't stand it, or the wife's like, "Why are you here?"
No, it's
Was it an adjustment
me.
for her, though?
It's me. I mean, because I always found my solace on the road. But I guess with the issue that I had that took me off the road, and knowing that when it did happen, I was supposed to be in the truck. That just, I don't know, that's.
You just happened to be in when your event happened.
It was a situation where I had to take care of an issue.
Right. But the point is, you just so happened to be in.
I just happened to be in.
That was lucky, I think.
Yes, and being that which artery it was in, it's even makes it even more luckier.
Yes, you was actually extremely lucky.
It was a widowmaker, basically, in that artery. So yeah, I got lucky. So in hindsight, the family. I mean, I took that trip to Atlanta for that recovery.
Right.
I didn't make it home that night. My family hated it. Me not being home. I hated it, but it is what it is. So I'm accepting my role.
Right. Is Carolyn still here? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she a company? Is she another owner?
She's a lease.
She leaves. All right.
Matter of fact, she's out there cleaning my truck.
Wait a minute, you paying her to clean your truck?
I'm telling you.
I've been paying her for 23 years.
That don't matter.
That doesn't count. We're not talking about paying.
It's
pain and
your
suffering.
truck.
Yeah, I know.
Are you paying? You gonna take out to dinner tonight?
I took her to steak yesterday.
I guess that was an idea I could have had a long time ago when I was driving. Hey, I'll take you to dinner for steak. You clean my truck the next day.
So, is there a reason why you guys aren't in the same truck now?
Yes.
Can't stand each other. I get it.
Well, no, it ain't that. It's just
Smile for the wife.
we decided that we was getting to a point in a relationship where we was together 24/7 for 12 years.
Yeah, see, that's what I keep on telling the wife. She's like, I'm so sick of this job. I'm about ready to quit. I'll just come out on the road with you. I said, the hell you are? Hell no.
At first, it was okay.
Right.
But then when you're stuck in a freaking 5x7 cab with somebody 24/7, after a while, it gets bad.
Yeah, you can't dance like no one's looking because someone's always looking.
And I think part of the reason I had to have my surgery on my neck they're running a team part because I was always, when she was driving, I was in sleeper. You know, I was bouncing
She was
up
aiming
and
for
down.
every pothole.
You know,
What'd you have done? Did you have it fused?
basically yes. I was missing a whole disc.
Damn.
My vertebrae had done tipped over and was pinching my nerves inside the base of my neck. The disc was completely gone. They had to go in. They cleaned up my vertebrae, and they got a little tray that they put all of the bone spurs in.
Right.
And they placed it in between the vertebrae, and then I got a titanium plate on the front of my neck screwed into my spinal cord.
Damn it. I'm gonna start calling him the T1000.
Well, it was getting so bad that I was going to have to either do something or I would have not passed my physical. I couldn't use my left side of my body. It was so bad that the pain and stuff would go all the way down to my fingertips.
Damn it.
And the arm would just go completely numb.
You see, I've had that problem laying in certain positions. My hand will get numb. It's one of the reasons why I justified selling my bike. When we sold my bike, basically to help with the down payment on the wife's new car. But before I sold it, I took it out for a ride for about an hour, and I got tired of my right hand just going completely numb. I don't know if it was carpal tunnel or if it's pinched nerve, because I've been going to chiropractor and I've lost weight, so that helps.
The doctor for years kept telling me mine was carpal tunnel. Well, I come to find out it wasn't. They done X-rays. They could see there was something wrong, so they sent me for an MRI. When I went to take the MRI, you lay down on a table and you put your neck in this little deal, and you go into the tube.
Right.
I laid down on the deal. I was in so much pain they had to stop the MRI. I literally had to go get a pain shot to take an MRI. That's how much pain I was in.
Damn.
Rather than just knock you out. Give him a shot of propofol and just...
Yeah, if Albert would have been in safety and he had seen the way I walked around, he'd have took me out of the truck. Because
Master, I'm ready to go, Master.
Because, like I said, there was times I couldn't even use my left arm; it would just hang loose, numb, completely numb. Couldn't use it.
Couldn't move it.
Couldn't move it.
Couldn't even do the stranger.
Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do nothing. You know, my wife, and it'd been that way for years.
Damn,
my wife would get up and my arm would just be laying down in my lap like this, and I'd just, when I get ready to shift a gear, I'd let go of the steering wheel a minute, shift a gear, grab the steering wheel back with my right hand.
What are you doing? Man.
So you were pretty much pleased to go to an automatic then?
No, I don't like automatics.
Really?
I hate automatic.
I mean,
here's the problem with automatic. For me, Albert, you, Chris, we know what we're doing.
right.
We started in standards.
All right. Just remember, he said it here today. We know what we're doing. No one can say otherwise. Can't take it back now.
But we started.
Oh, yeah.
We started in standards. We know what what it used to be.
Right.
Nowadays, you got these people that think they're driving a freaking car.
But you know what? I kind of embraced the whole automatic only because I got a bad left knee. So
Your clutch knee?
yep. So
Yep.
in cities, that's where it benefited me the most.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah.
We started getting those automatics when we were still going out to California.
Yeah. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the automatics are bad.
Right.
The problem is you got drivers out here that never drove a standard. All they've ever drove is automatics. They get straight into a truck, and they're not. Actually don't know what they're doing. Now all they got to do is put it in gear and go. Used to, if you didn't know how to drive, you wasn't getting in a truck.
True.
Now it don't matter if you know how to drive or not, because all you got to do is put it in gear.
Right.
But those people now come with a restriction on their license.
Yeah, but that don't help us when we're driving down the highway.
I was talking with Shane about that. We were talking about the insults you hear on the CB now. Even the goddamn automatic. I'm like, is that supposed to hurt my feelings? I didn't get it. And I was talking to him about it. I was like, well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? And he mentioned the restrictions. I'm like, oh, they think, because when they're talking shit, saying, oh, you're driving a stupid goddamn piece of shit automatic, they're basically saying you can't drive a standard because you have a restriction on your license. I'm like, oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. I know it's not true, so keep on driving, driver.
Right. You do you.
Right.
I can pretty much drive anything on wheels. I've drove 9 speeds, 8 speeds, 13 speeds, 15 speeds, 24 speeds. I drove a truck with 2 shifters.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So
they look. I've heard that they look complicated, and if you don't know how it's done, it's obviously complicated. But once you know, it's like really easy to drive those two.
The 5 and the 4s. It was an old style dump truck. It was back when I was in my teens. My dad used to work over here for a rebuilt trailer company called C&G Mobile Homes.
Right. Over
here in Judsonia. They had this old dump truck that we used to fill up, and we'd drive it back to with junk, and it had a 5 and a 4 in it. And it didn't have no brakes.
That's what reverse is for.
Right.
So
So out of all your time, where'd you go when you weren't here at Bowerman?
I worked
CFI.
I worked for JCT and CFI.
I've heard of CSI, but JCT, what?
John Christian Trucking.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah. Well,
So-
they just got bought out last year by Hirschbach.
Oh,
Who?
Hirschbach.
yeah,
I thought it was just Hirschbach.
How do you pronounce it?
doesn't matter.
No, I didn't know.
You knew who he was talking about. That's all that
I
matters.
know if there's another N in there somewhere.
Here's
That maybe I was misreading.
The international I bought was an old Hirschbach truck.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it did look
Right.
familiar. Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised. Well, everyone's buying everyone else out. Swift bought out Knight.
Nope.
No, they
you got
merged.
that the opposite way around. Knight
Depends
bought
on
out Swift.
depending on who you talk to. I've heard it both ways, and people that see it both ways they're adamant. So who cares? They became one. Whoever bought who. Anyways, and then what? JB or DB Schrenker.
Schreckner, yeah, Schreckner
They
bought
bought
USA.
USA. Someone needs to buy. I don't know. There's some other dipshit company out there that needs to be bought out.
There's a few of those.
I seen a video of something scary the other day. A JB Hunt truck pulling a cattle trailer. The cattle haulers are crazy, man. They're nuts.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've also seen.
Yeah, and then you got JB Hunt hooked to one. Oh, get the hell out of the way.
Also seen JB.
It's kind of like you probably seen the meme of the Swift truck hauling that ballistic missile or wherever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Like, oh hell no, I'm staying home this week.
Oh yeah, you talking about JB Hunt and a cattle truck. That reminds me. Years ago, I was out in Arizona, and there was this cattle truck passing a JB Hunt, and it was a woman JB Hunt driver. Well, after the cattle truck passes her, he gets back over and she gets on the CB and she says, "Hey, cattle truck." He comes back to her. Yeah. She says, "Slow down a little bit and I'll show you something you ain't never seen." Well, he slows down. She goes passing him. Well, she gets around him, passes him, gets back over. He gets on the CB and says, "Well, what was you going to show me?" She said, "The right side of my truck."
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Damn it.
I thought it was kind of funny at the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, back in the day, yeah, because they were like,
Because it was back in the early 2000s, So
yeah,
Right.
they were still what 55, 60 mile per hour trucks.
yeah, they were slow.
So the first time you left, who'd you go to? Was it CFI?
John Christian.
John Christner?
Yep.
So why'd you leave them?
I was leasing a truck through them, but the way they done their lease program, me and my wife was running team. Sometimes our truck payment was $1,700 a week.
Holy crap.
A week.
Damn it.
So it went by the miles that you ran.
Yeah. Well, by the mileage, that's not bad. You get the truck paid off early, but here's the problem. Where's the money? Where's the money going? It's all going into the truck. There's nothing
Right.
coming home.
Right.
You know.
So poor lease program. Now what about The other.
For CFI, I went to work as a company driver for CFI. About a month in, there was an owner-operator that had like 10 trucks. And I went to work for him, and I worked for him for well over a year. And then he decided to pull his truck from CFI, and he put it on with UPS. This before UPS got bought out.
I didn't know UPS bought. I mean, they're not UPS, but their
UPS,
transportation fleet.
UPS Freight got bought out.
Oh. By who?
CFI, I think.
So, are they still going to be UPS, or are they going to be something else?
There's, I'm not sure how that works now.
Huh. I wonder if they just bought out their transportation fleet, their long haul.
That's
probably.
like Transport America. They was also bought out by CFI.
So, what is it about here that just made you want to come back? Just because it's familiar?
Familiar, laid back atmosphere. My mom is disabled. She's 62 years old.
Oh, I thought I was on. I thought she had passed.
No, my grandmother passed away earlier this year, or well, last year. But my mom's disabled. She's 62.
Is Jeannie here?
No,
I've seen her around.
No, she's SJS or SQS.
She works for Cox.
I'm sorry. See,
Well,
Don't they all?
yeah.
she runs from Velvet Ridge out there.
COX, correct?
Well, I don't know how you pronounce it.
You need to stop. He sets him up. We'll knock him down. This isn't that kind of show.
She yeah, COX.
Okay.
She runs flatbed from.
Does it matter? I mean, come on. There's a whole demographic of people that can't say the word ask.
But
You're going to hell.
but she runs flatbed from Velvet Ridge area down to Midland.
Texas. Okay.
Yeah, and then, but here's the problem: she only gets paid one way.
So she don't go both ways?
You need to
They
stop.
pay her
You need to
$3.
stop.
They pay her $3 a mile to go to Midland.
Oh,
So
shit.
why don't they just find another load for her back? Is she owner op or a company driver?
She's on her own,
Okay, so why don't you just book another load back?
and she deadheads back.
Yeah, a buddy of mine did that too when he was hauling like flatbed. When
So-
he'd haul steel,
So
like at $6.
basically, she's making $1.50 a mile going to Midland and back. She does that 2 or 3 times a week.
that's like a break even.
So
Because half that it's going right in the tank.
Yeah, well, if you're deadheading all the way back, I mean, what, 12 miles a gallon almost?
Still. Yeah,
now,
right.
Now their company drivers are the same way. I heard their company drivers get like 50 cents a mile.
Has she thought about coming back here?
They're not hiring no more owner ops
Oh. Well,
unless they change that.
Is she?
No, they haven't changed it yet.
So
I don't see what the big deal is. I was talking to another driver
because
this week.
freight is not there. The freight's not there yet right now.
I mean, I understand the reasoning behind not wanting to do LPs because, well, getting tired of repossessed trucks and that they're all jacked up or whatever the case may
Oh,
be.
trust me, the truck I'm driving now, I just put probably $7,000 in it yesterday. You know, so
So that I get because we're not that big to really afford that. But I see no reason why we shouldn't allow owner operators. They own their own equipment.
you know, but in the last year, I think they've had to go recover 3 or 4 trucks now.
I don't know. He's one
They
of the
had to go to
recovery experts.
Knoxville. You had to go down to Atlanta.
There was
And there
another
was
one.
another one,
Yeah.
I think.
Was it?
See, we've lost since I've been in the office. I think there's at least 3 LPs that we had to take their trucks.
Yeah. I know they had to go to Knoxville to get to Kenworth because the LP put it in Kenworth over there and they tore it all up.
That KW.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
And then I'm not sure what happened to the one that you had to go to Atlanta and pick up.
That wasn't a company. That was a company.
But There was a couple other LPs that I think they had to go pick their trucks up too.
Yeah, one in down by Shreveport. Yours got dropped off here, and the other one was here in the yard.
You know, the LP program is a decent program.
Right.
Here's the problem is I don't know if I would do an LP program with people out of state.
You mean like you wouldn't be a driver, be an LP here, or be an LP driver for some outfit based in Dallas?
That would be a hard choice because I've always been to the situation where if I get a truck, I bring it back to where I got the truck at. Period.
Right.
You know, because if you don't, they can actually put it on your DAC report because it's abandoning a truck.
You know, another reason why a lot of people want to go LP is because they think they have more control of what they do out there. Little bit, yes. A whole lot, no.
You're right. There's not a whole lot of extra control, but here's the problem. Most people think it's more money.
Yeah, because until you actually
Not until the truck's paid off.
until you actually have that title of that truck, you're basically a glorified company driver.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and if you don't complete the program, you just flushed all that money down the drain.
Yep.
Well, no, that's where you're wrong. The only money you're actually flushing down the drain is just basic here and there, just like you do. But everything I do to the truck, fuel, def, maintenance, truck payment, all that, I get back because it's all tax deductible.
Yeah, that's the benefits of having a 1099.
Yeah.
You know, I get that's like the $60 a day per diem for every day I'm out.
Right.
I get that. You know, all that's tax deductible. My cell phone's tax deductible.
It's like $67 something per day overnight that you're away from home in the truck. You add all that together and you can claim 80% of it.
Yeah. You know, but that ends up sometimes $25,000 a year.
That's why he's never home.
I gotta get that tax deduction.
Well, see, I can even be taking my 34 out on the road. You know,
Right, because you're still away from home.
You know, even here sitting on the yard,
Right.
as long as I show being in a sleeper, because I'm on the yard.
Right.
I'm not at home.
Done at home, yeah.
Right.
You know. So when I'm at home, I log out
Right.
because I don't want the shop to go out there and freaking get my truck and drive it across the parking lot and then put myself back on there.
Yep.
You've done been driving. Oh, we ain't nothing we can do about it. Well, man, they put me over my 70, so that's a freaking violation.
Yeah, they say that they can't do any of those. I mean, the driver can't. The driver cannot manipulate anything with to do the drive line. They cannot add to or subtract from.
Neither can safety. Safety cannot change drive line. They can change on duty, off duty, sleeper.
All right, hold on one second. Line 2 has a compressor on it, so when it gets loud, it won't be so loud.
But yeah, as far as I know, safety can't even mess with the drive line.
Well, maybe they can, but people that says, "Oh, we can't do anything with that," bullshit. Someone can do it. They won't do it because we can't help your driver fix their logs, blah blah blah. But somebody can do it.
It can be done, but it's illegal because of the way the law is wrote.
Yeah, but
Anytime that truck hits 3 mile an hour or faster,
Oh.
it triggers drive line.
whoops, might have to turn you up.
I'm not repeating that. Damn, no, that sounds weird.
It's because you don't have a compressor. That's what these are. Anyways, but so familiarity, being back home essentially.
Yeah, I love it here. You know, I can walk in to the office. I know pretty much everybody in the office except for the new ones they've hired here recently. You know.
Yeah, there's some opinions that people have about the new people.
Gotta give everybody a chance, man.
I
Give
don't
them
have
all a
no
chance.
opinions about any of those people in the office because I don't know them. The only one I deal with in dispatch is basically Brandy. You know, every now and then I talk to Dan or Tanner, but the other new ones in there, I don't actually, you know, I talk to them on the phone.
Right.
But most of the time, they have to get with Brandy to get what I need done anyways.
Right.
So most of the time, the way I look at it is, well, why go through the middleman? It just goes straight to the boss.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing against them.
One of them individuals in there have a tendency of like, not trying to learn drivers. I don't know how else to, I mean.
Well, there's one in there that every time I call, okay, I know I don't call that often.
Right.
But I got a pretty distinctive voice, in my opinion. You know, Brandy knows who I am as soon as she answers the phone. You know, plus they got caller ID; they can see my phone number.
I was gonna say that you might have a distinctive voice. I have a distinctive phone number, 360 area code.
You know, and as soon as I call, they ask me for my truck number. That gets on my nerves.
That's who I'm talking about. There's only one that does it.
She always asks for my truck number. That, you know,
I've been asked my last name and my truck number. I'm like, you
know,
can't look at the car name, look at the board. Oh, okay, here he is.
They say, who are you and what's your truck number?
The last time anybody asked for my truck number, I said my truck number is Albert.
He's like,
my truck number is Albert.
I'm not a number. I'm Albert.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, there's
And
one
that's
in
when
there.
Deborah
I don't
was
know.
in the middle yard, and Deborah said, "That's Albert. Don't ask him his truck number."
I don't know which one it is in there because, like I said, I don't know either one of them. You know, and I'm not saying anything bad about them. I don't work for a company that's got 10,000 trucks. When I call, you should know who I am.
I have a feeling I know who it is only because of their history in the industry and where they worked at before. But I'm not going to name drop right now.
Well, no, there's no sense in name dropping, you know. And like I said, all I'm saying is, I don't work for a company that's got 10,000, 20,000 trucks.
So next time she calls or you call and she asks you that, maybe she can get a little education as well.
Yeah, you know. So that's one reason I like being here. It's because everybody knows me. I can walk across the parking lot, you know.
We talked about that too.
I've had drivers come up to me in the parking lot and say, "Hey, are you Timothy?" You know, I've never met these drivers a day in my life. Rodney did it to me.
That's exactly what I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you probably weren't even here.
You know, Rodney did it to me a few weeks ago. I never met the man in my life.
Yeah, it was weird. I went through like a little F everybody moment because all that week, no one knew who the hell I was. I kept on asking me. I've been asked like, "What's your last name? What's your truck number?" Then I was asked, "What's your phone number?" Which was a stupid question, anyways. I'm like, "Do you not have a caller ID in front of you?"
Most of them do.
But it was weird. It was just kind of like I'm not gonna say like a smack in the face, but it was weird going around the past. You know, just walking through the shop, talking to a couple of people, and you run into a driver that you may have seen passing by at one time or another, but haven't really talked to, introduce yourself. "Oh, hey, Chris, what's going on?" "Who the hell are you?" Or you run into a guy, "Hey, you're Chris, right?" "Yeah, who are you?" "Oh, I'm so-and-so. I've been here for about 2 years." I'm like, where have they been hiding you? I don't know who the hell you are.
You know,
it was really weird. I'm like, why the hell did all these people know who the hell I am? It was bad enough when we were going to salary. My name got thrown around that office a lot by other drivers. Did you ever hear about this?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, there was drivers who like didn't want nothing to do with the salary thing. They were probably making like less than 50 cents a mile at the time, so it would have benefited them anyways. Anyways, I didn't like what was offered to me. We're leaving it at that. That got out. "Oh, I ain't gonna do that." So why don't you want to do the salary? There's probably Dan calling them or whatever, and they're like, "Well, I heard Chris Davis ain't taking the salary, so if it ain't good enough for Chris Davis, I take it." I'm like, who the hell are these assholes just throwing my name on them?
They just throwing you under the bus.
I was like,
Dave.
what the hell? How the hell do they know I'm not taking the salary? This is ridiculous. Who are these people? And Jeff told me about a few of them. These talked to us. Yeah, they said they didn't want to take it because they heard that you weren't taking it. I'm like, who the hell's this? It was weird. And then like a couple weeks ago, it was just like, boom, infamy just disappeared. Who are you? Are you serious? It was like that. Do you not know who I am? kind of like a smug billionaire, like, you know, do you not know who you're talking to?
I'm Chris motherfucking Davis. You all know who I am.
And so it was just weird. Everything you got used to over all these years, all of a sudden just gone in an instant. You're like, F you son of bitches.
Well, see, now I can't even really go in the office, and I don't know too many people now because in the last year they've hired.
Oh, I'm telling you,
man. Only people I actually know is safety, which I try not to know them at all.
I know, yeah, it's a bad thing to know safety, isn't it?
You know, but I know everybody. I know the 3 people in safety that I deal with, and I know a few of the dispatchers. But everybody in the front office, except for Noah and Matt, I don't know who they are.
right? It's crazy.
Yeah, in the last, I would say the last year, there's been a lot of changes in the office.
We lost Marjorie. We've lost.
Right.
You know.
Well, now that Dingleberry's in the office, he's the only one. If you want, unless you want to count Matt or Jacob, can't really count Noah because he was a kid. But he's the only one that's still here from Judd Sony that works in the office.
Yeah.
No one in the office is from Judd. We lost the last one, CN. I think she was the last one from Judd.
You really can't count the Bowerman family.
Nah, but she didn't really work in a owner operational capacity.
No, but she was married to the owner.
So what?
Or is married to the owner.
So what?
Matter of fact, talking about CN, last week I'm taking a load down to Little Rock, and I'm delivering to a hardware company down there just after you get on the 30.
Right.
I pull in and go to check in, and this guy walks out. He says, I'm going to have to give you a hard time. I says,
okay.
Huh? What? I said, what for? He said, for the company you work for. He says, it's my son-in-law's. I said, huh? He says, yeah. Jacob's my son-in-law. So I met CN's dad.
Oh. That's crazy.
He works at a hardware company, or he may, I don't know, but he was there at the hardware company where I checked in at, you know. So I'm guessing he works there.
Here comes Albert Jr.
Oh, Lord. Not behind me.
Thanks for wearing your Sunday's best.
Look at him. He is running away.
Thanks for wearing your Sunday's best today.
You're a day early, dude.
You better be, since I need to be back here tomorrow.
It was
because they got me running hard this weekend.
Well, he could have.
Well, I mean, at least you're not working for Cox.
I don't drive miles I don't get paid for. Because even the deadhead miles I do, I figure them into my pay.
Right.
So, you know, and that's where a lot of you drivers, they say, well, this load's paying $2 a mile, but then you got a 100-mile deadhead. I said, well, how's it paying $2 a mile? You got to add the deadhead in because you're still paying for the fuel to go there.
Right.
You know.
So how did he ask you, or did Carl ask you about Rogers?
They sent me a text.
So impersonal.
No,
we're doing this thing.
I talked to him a couple times about it.
He talked to me a couple times about, but you know, I didn't know if I was going to be invited, you know, or anything like that, you know. I've actually went on YouTube and looked at some of the videos of Rogers, you know.
Right.
So
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, those who I know have a great feelings and be going up there, I personally have talked to.
You know.
So how do you think he's going to do? Not him.
Him?
Yeah, him.
I think 2 of them will surprise the shit out of you.
2 of them? Mm-hmm. What, that they're going to try to join, or that they'll do well?
They'll join. They'll do well.
2? I'm just curious about him.
And the other 2, I'm not worried about.
He's like, who the hell are you talking about? How do you think he's going to do?
Actually, I think I know the 2 that he's talking about. That's going to
one of
the two that I'm not concerned about. I'm not concerned about the 2 that It's going to be a surprise.
Is one of them the same person I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Okay. Well, who the hell would the other be? Guess we'll find out in 40
In a little
minutes.
while.
Yeah. So he's just waiting to see
Well, since this,
what new
when are
punchline's
you
gonna pop
putting
up.
this? When are you putting this out tomorrow? Right.
No, it goes up today,
Okay.
this afternoon.
All right, then I won't say nothing.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
don't want to lose no surprises now.
Yeah. But yeah. So out of all your years here, what's been like your favorite experience? Is it like a run that we used to do, or a certain individuals you got to like hang out with or chat with, or?
Well, hanging out and chat with people I don't like at all. So,
Oh, so this
this
is like torture.
well, but what I like to do, and Bowerman don't do no more, I like to go to the Northwest.
Yeah, that was nice.
I used to run down to Stuttgart, pick up a Kent Washington load. You know,
Oh.
I love doing that load.
Yeah, we didn't do that one very long. That was like the last Lennox. They tried to turn turn into a milk run, and never worked out.
I've done it just about every week.
And so you must have started doing that right there towards the end of before we said Lennox, go F yourself.
You know,
Because I know we used to take Delnet tires to Spokane and over to Vancouver and Portland, and we'd go to Covington, Tennessee, I think. We'd pick up, dude, Kent.
you know.
So
Matter of fact, talking about that load there,
the Kent load.
yeah. I picked that load up, and you know, the way they loaded it, you know, there wasn't no strapping it down. At that time, we couldn't strap down. We didn't have the,
We didn't, yeah.
you know, we
had
used
those
load
joke
bars,
of-
you know.
yeah, joke.
And you couldn't. The trailers we had was basically junk, you know.
He's being so kind.
No, those trails were garbage.
I was being sarcastic.
And well, me and my wife took a load up to Kent, the one that had the 3 drops on
Right.
it.
What was it? It was Office
Office
Depot
Depot.
and Staples.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we got to the first drop, they took theirs off. We got the second drop, the whole load had shifted. They refused to take it off. So they had to find us another place to get everything reworked in the trailer.
Oh wow. Get it all mixed up.
But because the way they loaded over there, you know, they loaded it. They just threw it in the freaking trailer.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like it. They didn't care. They didn't wrap the pallets. Nothing. They just threw it in the trailer.
Yeah, I miss going up there.
I miss going up there. You know.
What's
And
your favorite route to go up there? Across Wyoming or across South Dakota?
It's according to what time of the year it is, but my favorite is going up. I used to go up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'd hit 90. I'd take it to Spearfish. At Spearfish, I'd hit Highway 212, which would take us up into Montana, right below Billings, and it cut off 100 miles.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go down through Wyoming. Because
I remember the first time I went across 90. I went up 29, hit Sioux Falls, went across 90. Yeah, and through Billings and Butte and all that stuff. That was awesome.
Well, the way you probably win is, and your GPS will take you that way. The problem is I don't use GPS. I got 3 of them in my truck. I use them for the mileage. That's about all I use them for.
Super trucker.
But
I hear
if
Zachary's a super trucker.
if you go down through, if you stay on 90, it brings you south back into Wyoming. And it's
Oh, I
about
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it's about 90 miles, maybe 100 miles further
Right.
than going up across 212.
Yeah, but Gillette is so nice. I can't believe I said it with a straight face.
I can't believe you did either. But I got snowed in right there in the middle of June.
What's going on
90.
with Gillette?
What's right with Gillette?
It's the best a man can get.
Not Gillette, Wyoming.
But me and my wife got snowed in right there in the middle
No.
of June one time.
I knew a stripper named Gillette, so maybe no.
No, he's serious. Sherry, get him.
She don't listen to this.
We'll make this little snippet just for her. Yeah.
But then she'd want to know what the content of this conversation was, and it wouldn't work.
Correct.
Wow. She'll be sitting there. Hey, so what the hell's this about? Was she the only one? Tell me.
What happens in New Laredo stays in New Laredo, right?
Man, crazy. So, you have anything else?
No.
Wow. Any final thoughts over there? Are you excited about this experience?
If I make it, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. You know,
Talking about two different things, but
I'm
So
excited.
what was your-
No, I'm excited about this.
Was
This is
your-
the first time
so
I've ever done something like this. Too.
how did they present the whole competition to you? Were you like, hey, we're gonna do this thing. You want to go?
Actually, no. I was here last year when y'all went,
Oh, okay.
so I knew y'all was doing it now.
Oh, okay. So now
Actually,
you've been here. You can go.
Actually, I've been here almost 3 years now.
I've slept since then.
I started in August. I'm working on my 3rd year.
You in August.
Yeah, love August. It's after my birthday.
It's August, the season of Bowerman.
But I think the competition's in June this year.
Mm-hmm. June 26th and 27th?
June 28th and 29th, the last weekend of the month.
Whatever.
Well, see, I'm going to go to that, and then I'm going to come back and work for 2 weeks. Then I'm taking 2 weeks off.
Are we doing convoy?
Probably so.
My wife, this year's my 45th birthday at the end of July, and she spent $8,000 on a 8-day cruise.
You better go. She kick your ass. She gonna...
On what cruise line did you have to spend that much on an 8-day cruise?
On Carnival, but she got one of the big rooms and everything
Wow.
with a balcony.
What a waste. The
Full
balcony,
si- a
yeah.
full-size pooper?
The balcony,
Yeah.
yes.
And she got me a.
You guys going to Caribbean?
Yeah.
Oh, you all messed up. Have you been to Alaska?
No, I haven't done
That
Alaska
is an
yet.
awesome cruise.
Well, the problem with going to Alaska is I got to fly to get there.
So what?
Well,
And-
There's one that leaves Seattle and goes up there, is there not?
yeah, but you still got
You
to
still have
fly
to
to
get to- yeah,
Seattle.
yeah.
Well, I mean, Seattle.
Because Bowerman don't drive trucks up there no more.
Your owner operator be like, give me a load to Washington.
They won't do it. I've asked them to get me different loads, and oh no, we can't. We so I just stay.
Sounds like you're asking the wrong person. Jacob, send me to Washington. Stat. Talk with Tanner. Come on, buddy. What's up, buddy? Come on. Buy him a little Hot Wheel DeLorean. Hey, look, dude.
Is that all it takes?
I don't know, but I know that one of his favorite movies is Back to the Future.
Oh, well.
So
Well, go talk to Matt and just get him some Star Wars memorabilia.
there you go. That'll work. That'll
Because
work.
Matt loves Star Wars.
or Star Trek. Or
Yep.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
TNG.
Yeah. Matter of fact, my wife bought him something for Christmas that was Star Wars.
So, well, if there's nothing else, I guess we can call this a day. Thanks for coming on the show, Tim. It was great talking to you. Albert, it was nice of you to show up for a change.
I know, right?
He has a tendency of ignoring us on a regular basis. So thanks again for watching this episode or listening to this episode. If you're listening to it on Spotify, be sure and click that subscribe button, click the little bell icon, and become part of a little notification squad so you don't miss another episode that we upload here on YouTube. You can like and follow us over on Facebook as well. And we'll see you next time. So be careful out there. And yeah, see ya. Peace.